Hello, hello. Hello, hello, how are you doing? Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm not a regular viewer. I've seen a few of your Unity code tutorial videos, roads, audio, etc. Okay, that is good to know. Do you like making games? What games do you do? It seems like everybody that uses Unity likes to do something different from most of people, if that makes any sense. I don't think that makes any sense, but you know, I'm just talking. But it's good. I love seeing. I even installed your racing game free project and I tried it out. It was great. Thank you. Thank you. I built that game, that racing game, like, I don't know, it was like 5 years ago. And I recently installed it actually in my machine, and I'm actually a little surprised on how good it was, even though I built it 5 years ago when I didn't know how to code. I mean, code properly. I didn't use any pattern. I didn't use anything. I just coded, and some of the code is just awful, but it works. But anyway, how you been? How is your day been? How was your weekend? I love the weekends, bro. Anyway, in this video, I was going to try and make the gearing system on this, but I don't even know if we need a gearing system because this is going to be mostly controlled from outer sources. I should switch to this because I'm stupid. Okay, I hope you can see. I hope you can see everything. I hope the music isn't too loud. I'm gonna bring it down just a little bit. Maybe it works better. Okay, I am really tired of looking at this car, so I am going to just take this out. And I think I had Is everything working okay? Everything looks okay. Okay, so I was going to. You should not be seeing this. You should not be seeing this. Okay, I should take this away. I hope nobody screenshots that and makes fun of me in the internet. Anyway, this assets, I can show you this. This assets is my old, this is the old project that I just talked about. I built this 5 years ago. Look at this, 2020. Oh my god. This was even before the pandemic. This is how old this is. I feel like another man. I mean, another version of me. Anyway, let's go into our car game right here. These are all of my GitHub projects. I do a lot of things with programming. Usually not usually, but recently I recently did a JavaScript file that attaches to ChatGPT and makes it automatically input some inputs that says, hey ChatGPT, answer this question, but when you answer it, give me a definitive answer and don't waste my fucking time on reading like 100 lines of code, which is really nice. I'm just a hobbyist, but I'm trying to learn game dev. Is very time consuming. It's making me juggle between my career and game dev. What is your career? What is your main career? I will tell you if it is worth pursuing game. Your career is software development. Well, then you don't need that much time to actually start and learn game development. If you want my opinion, which of course my opinion does not matter in any way. Anyway, I had another tab in here and I don't know where the tab went. You know what's funny? I have had a Mac for about 5 years now and I still don't know how to use it. Okay, this is car game. This is where we are, and then we want to go into assets, 3D models. This is our old assets script. If you want this, you just go to one of my playlists. I'm not sure which one, but in one of my playlists, I have a Mediafire link. This is how old this is. I used Mediafire. That site should not be existing anymore. Anyway, I have imports. I'm looking for another vehicle. I have many vehicles in here. I have a cart. This is what I'm looking for. So I'll get this cart and cart one. And I just drop them in here and then here we are. I'm still a student, so I have university to attend to as well. Well, if you want my if you want my attention, I don't know what I'm saying. If you want my suggestion, I would strongly suggest that you attend your university because your degree matters more than your anything. So if you want to actually do good in life, you need that degree. But if you want to be a good programmer, then you don't need it. That does not make sense, I know, but that's how I feel. Anyway, let's actually start and doing some real game development. I feel rested. Rather than the last time that we tried to do this, I felt so tired. Okay, so I do not want to look at this car anymore, so I wanted to change the car. I watched your tutorial, but it's very difficult to get a realistic sounding car like Forza. You don't want to sound like Forza. Why would you want that? Forza already exists. You should make something that's fun to play, not realistic. I mean, obviously, a little realistic, but let's get real here. You're not gonna do that. You shouldn't do that. Maybe you want to do that. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea to do that. I don't know why, but I have two cards in here. And since this is card 1, which it would mean that this is made later than this, so I will delete this. How do I delete this? Like this maybe? Yes. Actually, I can answer your question. If you want your cars to sound realistic, what you would usually have to do here, let's actually do some drawing because I'm really good at drawing. Not really, but you know, let's make this larger, like this. So if you want to have a realistic sounding car, why did I do 3? Realistic sounding car. What you would do is you would use samples. So first of all, you would get a sample number 1 is here. And then in here you have an array that has these samples. And these samples will play between each other. So how do I mean by that? Is that you have a sample in here, S1, you have a sample in here, S2, and so on. And then you have an array of these. So you know what an array is. This is an array, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, however many samples you have. So this sample right here is the car idle. So how can I make this even more simple for you to understand? So this is car idle. This is when it just starts to accelerate. So maybe from 1000 RPM to 2000 RPM. And this is, of course, 2000 to 3000 RPM. RPM as well. So what you would do is you would get this sample and then you would match this to the car's actual RPM. You don't know what RPM is just rotations or revolutions over minute. So per minute, every minute, how many revolutions the engine makes. So judging by this, you would play these samples and then you would jump between these samples using a fading. So when you are like 70%, you would make the volume of the first sample just slightly faded away, and then the next sample is larger. So not larger, but you know, louder. And that's how you would transition from the sample 1 to sample 2, or in this case from idle to 1000 to 2000 RPM. And then later you would have a acceleration and then deceleration. So you would have acceleration and deceleration. And if you want your car to sound even more realistic, is you would have another one of these, so another array of samples for deaccelerating, and then another one for when you're not accelerating or deaccelerating. So this is in short terms. It doesn't look short terms, but you know, in short terms, this is how you would make a realistic sounding engine. But in my opinion, you don't want that. You want your game to be fun and not realistic. GTA 5 is not realistic, but it's really, really fun to play. Nobody goes around and steals cars. That's not realistic, but it's really fun to do that. So you should make your game to be fun. You know? I feel like fun games have been missing for quite a while, and because of that is that people just want their game to be so realistic that it's technically real life, but nobody wants to relive their life through a game. You want to escape realism, and you want to have fun. Again, that's just my opinion, which it doesn't matter. Obviously, my opinion does not matter. It's just my opinion. And you should not listen to my opinion. Anyway, feel free to comment, by the way. It's a chill night. We're gonna do some game development, but that doesn't mean we cannot chat. So leave your comment. We can chat. I can help you out. I recently became a full-time software developer in a reasonably large company here in Germany. And if you ask people on how difficult it is, it's not the easiest thing to do. But I did it. So if you want some advice, I can give you some advice. Anyway, I want this to be my car for now. And I do not want this to be my car anymore. So I'll get this to here. Get this to here. This into here. Like this. A screaming V12 will give you the feeling of speed. I know, bro. I know, bro. I know. I wish I had one, but I don't. Rigid body. So we will have to simulate it or play Forza. I feel like playing Forza is easier, if you ask me. Anyway. What are we missing from here? We are missing a collider. Let's just name this cart. Let's give this a create empty. Not create empty, we want to create a 3D cube like this. We want this to be like this. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. We have a box collider. It's good. It's good enough. That's pretty much what I currently have. I've done many iterations in AI chatbots to improve the audio script. It just kind of changes the pitch and all of the two audio sources. It's not like a V12 engine. Well, yeah, you need more samples. I can tell you a cheat code on how you can get samples, by the way. If you play an old game of Need for Speed, they have the most fun sounding car engines. So if you play, like, for example, I think Underground 2 and even Most Wanted, I think Most Wanted is even better. Need for Speed Carbon is just like eh. But if you go into, for example, Need for Speed Most Wanted and you play some of those Lamborghini sounds, they sound so good, bro. They use many samples and you can just sample it. And if you use a controller, you can have a specific RPM playing all the time, so you can just sample it, and then you can have your sample repeat itself without interruptions. So it really sounds like a continuing loop, even though the loop itself is like 3 milliseconds. You know? I hope this helps, by the way. I'm just giving you ideas. I hope it works. I really hope it does, by the way. I want to play your game. It's rarely happen. It really does happen rarely that I find people as motivated as you. Anyway, talking about car sounds kind of makes me Dude, Germany is awesome. That's like heaven for car guys, except for European sound and emission norms. What sound and emission norms, bro? The cars sound insane in here, even the newer ones. You don't even have to get the newer one. You can get like a 2013 model, which costs nothing, and it has a V12, like an Aston Martin. That, you know, having an Aston Martin, it costs like, I don't know, 20 grand. And it has a V12 or a V8, which still sounds good, in my opinion. Which doesn't matter, obviously, but you know. Okay, what is the layout of this? So we have a car collider. Why don't I copy these car colliders? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Copy all those in here. But the positioning is not right. Shade. Okay, I'll delete those. Okay, since I have that, what I can do is create an empty, get this empty, add, what is it? Wheel collider. Here's our wheel collider, then we put the wheel inside of the wheel collider, and that's it. Why can I not see the gizmos? I can't see the gizmos. I'm just not looking right. Yeah, AMGs from earlier sound better. You know why the AMG sounds earlier from better? Is because they dropped the 6.3 engine. Mercedes dropped their 6.3 engine. They will not be making it anymore. That's the stupidest decision in the history of decisions, maybe ever. But why would you drop a 6.3? You know, the 6.3 engine is the engine of the engines. There is no better engine than the 6.3 of AMG. And they won't be making it anymore. Can you think about that? I cannot. That's so stupid. That's so idiotic. But I think they have issues with it's not very economical. Which is kind of stupid because you don't buy an AMG to be economical. Right? Or whatever. I think it's something to do with emissions. Like you said, yeah, you are actually right. I didn't say you were wrong, but you're the newer ones, the newer cars, they have to comply with obviously certain type of bullshit. Excuse my language, which is just plain bullshit. Yeah, they're probably yeah they are doing it to norms, but it's like I feel like it's a crime to do that. The 6.3 is just the best. And it's not because it's so powerful or anything like that. It just sounds so good. It is maybe the best sounding engine in the world, except for the V12 of Ferrari. You know. But anyway, what do I know? I don't know anything. I have a chassis which I can mount a collider to. Why am I not doing that? Anyway, how are you guys doing? Car controller, I have wheels which are pointing to the wrong wheels. Okay, I need the wheel 0 is this, right? And the wheel 1, this is not the wheel 1. This is the wheel 1. So I have this for the front, this for the rear. Have you ever published any of your games in the market? I have published a game in the market. I can actually look for it. But I don't think it's doing any good, and I think it's removed from the market because it had some Albanian text into it or something. So if you go into Google and Play Store Android, is this how you search for it? Yes. And then in here you should have Almora. No, it's not in the store anymore. Almora Racing maybe? No, Grapeland. Not Grace. Grapeland. No. It doesn't exist anymore. I had a game in Play Store. But it doesn't exist, sadly. But I do have games that I have built in a studio that I have worked before. I've actually worked for a really, really famous mobile gaming community, or not community, company. What the hell is happening here? Oh, I know what's happening. What is your favorite genre of games, by the way? Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this abomination, bro? What is this abomination? Holy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Don't you love game development? Don't you just love game development? I love game development so much, bro. Okay, I have not been listening and I've been making some stupid mistakes. The blue axis should point forward, but it's pointing backwards. Anyway, let's just rotate this. Why do you keep calling, bro? I don't want to answer. Looking good. What is looking good? There's nothing looking good here. It looks like an abomination. There was an easier way of doing this, and I don't remember what. I do remember what. Okay. This looks good, huh? I hope this looks good. Anyway, let's start. I cannot get over how stupid this looks. But at least it's steering in the right direction. Oh my god. Oh, the handbrake works. Look at that. The handbrake works. Hell yeah. Don't you love it? I love it. Let's try to fix it. I almost don't want to fix this, by the way. I almost don't want to fix it. I still don't know why it's happening, though. It took a whole day to figure out how to make a basic car in Unity. The wheel colliders and random deer wheel spinning was very frustrating. It's really stupid, bro. I know. This wheel collider is just idiotic. If you've tried the wheel colliders in Unreal Engine, it's just so much easier. But I don't know why I keep getting back to Unity. And I think it has to do with the fact that it uses C++, I mean C#, and C# is just better. C# is better. In any way. Does this fix it? I don't even know if this fixes it. I don't know what's going on. Do I know what's going on? Wait. If I rotate this to 90 degrees, not this maybe, but if I rotate this, no, not this, this maybe. What is the problem in here? Can anybody try to help me? Help a poor fella out. I'm making a car tutorial, but I don't know how to do my car. That's my problem. Is that my problem? This is local. There's a lot of people joining in, and I would like to fill you in with the current state of my minigame. This is the state of my minigame. And if you're new to game development, I think this is the best day that you're going to have in game development. Nothing goes to the way you want to go. But the handbrake works. The handbrake actually works. Oh my god. I still don't know what's going on in here. This should be 0. This is 0. Why does this keep happening? Oh, this rotates to -90. That makes sense. So if this goes to -90, then this goes like this. But how can I fix this? Maybe this -90? Like this, maybe? So if I do -90 in all the wheels, and I can get this to do this. And now if I hit play, hell yeah. Hell to the yeah. Okay, now let's attach the camera. We need to automate this. But right now I'm too focused on how stupid this looks. If you just joined, by the way, I'm doing the most stupid thing that has ever been stupided in the history of stupided. The thing is, I'm really tired of looking at this model, and I'm too tired to actually go and get the textures right. So I don't want to do this anymore. And I got this cart. And then while modeling, or not modeling, but you know, binding the wheels where they should be, I got the best result that has ever resulted. Anyway, So the last thing that congratulations, dude. Thank you. Thank you. That's a really, really big accomplishment. Getting the wheels right. What do we need now? The right wheels, or not the right wheels, but the left wheels are not correct. So this should be maybe minus 90. No. Actually, this should be minus 180. Like this. This is minus 180. And this also should be minus 180. Is due to the model not having proper transforms. Yeah, I know. I know, but it's still funny. Okay, so let's get this and this and do 180. Not 180 in here. 180 in here. Okay, so now it looks right in this view, and it also looks like right in this view. That is perfect. Okay, perfect. Now let's try to make this this car game actually fun. I had the same problem. This is how I fixed it. The wheel transform dot rotation rod quaternion. Wheel constraint degree. What is your wheel constraint degree? What value is that? What value does your wheel constraint degree contain? Is it a vector 3 or something? No, it can't be a vector 3. It's a float. I'm very stupid today. I do apologize. Okay, so first thing, I have too much power. So let's reduce this to like 400. We should also have, in core stats, we should have a enum in here. Let's do that enum. Let's actually do some coding. Does anybody have an idea on why my debugger is not working? Because when I do any error in here, errors in here don't really pop up. So I have to compile and look at the console and see if I have any problems. Do you know how to fix this in Mac? Because I know how to fix it in Windows, but I don't know how to fix it in Macs. Anyway, camera settings, car settings. Let's define a public. Actually, this first has to be system.serializable public enum. What should we name this enum? I want to name this like, is it 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive? Maybe drivetrain? Drive mode. Let's do drive mode. And let's say not four, but front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, all wheel drive. Like this and like this. There we go. And let's actually do a pub drive mode. And we will default this to all-wheel drive. Okay. Hello, everybody that is just joining. We are trying to do a game that is somewhat fun. Somewhat. So I was thinking that we can have this game that will have like a map, some kind of a map that has ramps. So this goes like this and we jump. So like this and we jump. And whenever we are here, we cast a ray down like this. And the larger this distance, we do this distance like here as a float, load, dist. And the larger this distance is, I was thinking that we can FOV And we can pass this distance to the FOV and then make the FOV bigger. So what I mean by that is if we go into our camera and go into our camera component, we do this field of view and we make it greater the higher we are. So the more airborne, the more view we have. So the more, FOV we have. I think that would be a good idea to do. Other thing is that I don't like your color. That's not right. Why? I don't want this. Let's do it like this for now, so it doesn't hurt our eyes. Hello everybody that is just joining. We are trying to do a car game. Not a car game, but a driving game, I should say. It took a lot of time to make games, so if you're just doing it as a hobby, do you think it's a better idea to start a side hustle or something? Is not your primary career, right? Game developing is no longer my career. I used to do game development for a living. I don't do it anymore. The problem is that I did games for mobile, and I don't think that's a good idea or a good business plan for your future. I think you should focus on more long-lasting things, if that makes any sense. In a simple scenario, so just asking. If you're in a simple scenario, you should pursue game development. I mean, not game development, but, development on general. Hi dude, I recently finished the documentation for my future project. It will be called my summer truck. Can you provide a link or something? The Fox 71 Russ. So we can take a look at your thing. I love looking at your work, by the way. It just makes me so happy that people are actually pursuing games. Because the other day I was trying to play a game that is fun and that is, not made from Ubisoft or something like that. And I was struggling to find any. So it's really nice to see that people are trying to build their own games. And that's what I am trying to maybe influence, maybe teach. I don't know. I'm trying to help. And to get back into your question on if you should pursue game development, I don't think it's a good idea. I honestly don't. If you want my honest opinion. I used to do game development for a really, really big company on game development or game studios that did games for mobile devices. And that was fun for quite some time, but then it's not a long-lasting solution. You need something that will last you a long time. And if you learn something like, I'll actually draw. So I used to do games for a company. I'll actually show you the company. I'll open a new private window and I'll show you. So if you go into Google, I always have to do this. So if you go into Google and go Play Store Android, I think, and if you go into their games, you will probably see the studio that I've worked on. I think their biggest hit is Helix Jump. This one. So I worked for this company. This was a contracting firm or company with our studio development. It was really fun to do like games for these people. The games are actually super simple, so like this. And some of these used to take off and make a lot of money, but ours didn't, unfortunately. And the thing is, you keep getting told, like, hey, this didn't work this time, but maybe next time it will. And I don't think you should base your career or your life in maybe. So maybe next time it works. I don't think you should do that. I think you should know. I think you should know development. And game development. So game development teaches you development. And that does, and the game development does that by teaching you C#. Now, what can C# do if you are interested? With this C#, what I have done, or what I am doing right now in this company that I'm working in, is that I can do backend with C#. And if you can do backend, then you're basically good to go in any field that you want. So with C#, you can do ASP.NET. So .NET. So .NET is really powerful. This .NET will literally save your life. So you can do anything. You can do, like, I don't know, you can do API. You can do socket. You can do, what was that thing called with credit cards? You can do transactions. You can literally do anything with .NET. And this .NET gets taught from you with C#. And where does this C# come? It comes from game development. But when you put this game development in your resume, people don't take you very seriously. That is the only downside of game development. But the upside is that you learn C#. And C# is really powerful. It's really powerful. I cannot stress enough how powerful C# is. But it was for me. I don't know if it is for you, but it was for me. I work in Germany. I think that's a good enough excuse to know. Okay. Game developers earn a little and not stably. It's better to work elsewhere. Game development is only for hobby. I totally agree with you. Roman R. That's a good name. Yeah, guys, you're right. Thank you for advice. I've played a bunch of games from Voodoo. We all play the games from Voodoo. Who hasn't played games from Voodoo? There was another game studio called, I don't know if they're still operational, but it was called Crazy Labs. Yeah, this studio. We also worked with this. They published 0 of my games. They have 7 billion downloads. Holy. That's a lot. Mobile games. Yeah, holy. They published this. Yeah, sadly, they just rejected all of my games. But this was like a long time before. All documents are in Russian. I keep them secret because I'm afraid of theft. I wrote all of the mechanics, design, etc. The advice can you give me? I can't handle such a project alone. You will have to handle it alone. Because if you think about it, you have done like 80% of the job, as I can see. So if you did... Now, I'm just basing off of what you said. So you said you have done all the documentation. That is done. If you also say that all of your mechanics and design, so you also did mechanics, that is also done. The design, how did you do design yourself? I don't even know. So if you did design, this is with S, then you're basically 90% there. This is, well, let's be realistic. This is 80% of your work. And also you did this by yourself. So you did this alone. And if you did this alone, then what else do you need, bro? You don't need anything. You just need to go into internet. You go into groups. You go into, like, I don't know where you go. You go maybe into Discord. You go into YouTube comment sessions. And just advertise your game. Oh, your GUI. You need your GUI to be done. Oh, well, GUI is simple. Just pirate Photoshop and then you're done. You're good to go. Anyway, let's get back into my game. I was going to build something today. I built nothing while talking to you. Okay. Okay, now this car, this is much more handleable. Handleable. That's a word, 100%. Anyway, can you see this? Do I need to do this? This is bigger. Okay. Let's try and implement this drive mode. Let's go into car controller. And I need a programmer. You need a programmer. You cannot pay a programmer. Programmers cost a lot of money if you want a real programmer that follows design patterns. Have you heard about design patterns? You need a programmer that follows design patterns to actually do a game that is scalable. Because obviously you want a game to be scalable. You want to start with a game and then later you want to improve on it. And then you want to add and keep adding and add and add and add. And that's why you want to follow patterns. Anyway, I want to take into account the drive modes. And I don't know how that is supposed to work. Okay, let's go into here and let's say, I don't want to put this into a switch though. I'll tell you what, we will do pub void translate power to wheels. Like this. And I will have this for now into here. And then I will have translate power to wheels like this. Check wheels are present. Okay, we don't need that for now. Let's handle this now. What I would do is I would build a switch. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This already did it for me. I can just return and this will not get executed. Okay, good. So if drive mode is front wheel, what am I doing? I cannot write. Front wheel drive. Rear wheel drive. And all wheel drive. Okay, that's proper. Say I spent a lot of time learning game. Can software development make you rich anymore though? To actually buy AMGs Ferraris. Can software development make you an AMG? Absolutely, bro. I'll tell you what, if you go into Google and search for how much money a backend developer makes, there's too much what competition, bro? There's no competition on real developers. Your only battle is to not use ChatGPT. And you should be easily winning that battle. You don't need ChatGPT or anything. Because ChatGPT is making you think that there is a competition, but in reality, there's no competition. Honestly, there's no competition at all. So what are we making? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I brought this into our scene. Previously we were using this and I'm too bored from this. So I wanted to use this. And when we play this, it looks much more fun. So I'm after fun. I don't want it to sound real. I don't want it to look real. I want it to look fake. Not fake, but I want it to look pleasing for the eye. And I think this does that. Although this is really flat and I don't want that. I'll model a texture that goes in here later. Or maybe never. I don't know. Specialists are needed everywhere. If your project does not bring your success, you can get a job and earn money for a Ferrari. First of all, Ferrari should not be like a destination for you, or Ferrari should not be your goal. Your goal should be to be happy. Ferrari will not make you happy. I mean, it will for some time, but you're not gonna sleep in a Ferrari. I don't know, that's just my opinion. My opinion does not matter, as always. Anyway, so what were we doing here? We were doing wheel 0 for front wheel 1. What we also need wheel 1 to have that. We should also assign these values. Oh my god, I don't know. Rear wheel drive, this will be 0, 1. This will be 2. This will be 2. And this will be 3. And then all-wheel drive, this will do this. No, not this, but the for loop itself. The for loop must be here. What is going on? I want to do this. Okay, that's perfect. What game is it? It's a new project. It's not a new project. I think it is, but we're using some old assets that I've been using from a project that I done earlier. My dream is to leave Russia. Your dream is to leave Russia. Then come here. AMGs and Ferrari cost 2 times as much here in India due to taxes. According to my calculation, even if I get a high-paying job, it will take like 30 years to buy one. Don't live in India then. Go to US or something. My dream is to leave Russia. Where? Russia, sad. Go to Vietnam. What? What are you gonna do in Vietnam? Lose another war? That was bad, I'm sorry. Okay. Do you guys think this is gonna work? I don't think this is gonna work. Okay. If you look at this, This is not the right way of doing anything. This is really not the way of doing anything. But we're going to do it for now. What the hell? Oh my god. This keyboard is just awful. I want space pressed. I also need brake torque. I also need brake torque. But I also need it to be applied in only the rear wheels. Oh my god, what did I do to myself? I just know about Russian to leave to Vietnam. Android Racer Legends. Hello, how are you? This solution is just awful. So I'll do it the right way, finally. I don't know why I bothered doing it the wrong way. But this is the right way of doing it, actually. So this is obviously rear wheel. And we don't want... Do we want motor torque? I guess we do want motor torque here, but it doesn't matter. So after this is done... I don't know why this code looks so ugly. So after this is done, what we want to do is take the rear wheels like this, put them down here. And then we want to say brake torque. What happened now? What happened, bro? Oh my god. Scripts. Okay. So we want brake torque. And we want brake torque here. And we want it like this. So what's happening in here? Let's actually do some coding because we have been just talking for a long time. And what's happening in here? I have a switch that will tell us if the car, what drivetrain it is. So this remains as it is. I should actually remove this brake torque from here because it's not needed anymore. And what's happening in here? I am doing all of this, and then after all of this has happened, we are applying brake torque. And this is how it should work. I don't know if it is going to work. It's not that simple. Putin has gone crazy and has done everything to make moving from Russia impossible. We are victim of repression. I love America. I want to live in America. Bush, help me. What the hell, bro? I'm a dev too. I love watching your videos. I work in Unity and Unreal Engine. You work on Unreal. Why are you still in Unity? Unity is trash. Okay, enough with politics. Yeah, I agree. Enough with politics, bro. Let's see if our thing works. So, for now, we're supposed to be in all-wheel drive. Okay, I think it's working. Let's do front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive works. I am pleased to report. And then we have rear-wheel drive, and nothing should happen. And nothing does happen. So now we can go forward, and if I press space, it does this. Perfect. My relatives are scared to go to USA even though their son lives there. Why are they scared to go in USA? Nobody's gonna do anything to you. USA is actually good. It's just a dream. It's just a dream to leave Russia. I don't know why, but we have a lot of Russians in here in Germany. Make a camera system more like NFS 2025 people. It will love it. What does it look like in NFS 2025? Don't mind if I do. Take a look. I'm sorry. I'm not developing, but I am doing research. Why does Google make you do this every single time? I don't know. NFS 2025. Do you like watching ads, bros? I think I do. This ad keeps popping up every 2 seconds. What is happening to this computer, bro? 2015? What? What the hell? I don't know. I saw enough. I really love cameras in any. Dude, Need for Speed knows how to make a fun game. Not realistic, but fun. And that's what we're after. So, before you guys distract me even more, I have a game to make. So, now that we have the wheels drive, do you know what's happening right now? Right now, it's happening this. The wheel, or not the wheel, but the collision is not really collisioning. How are you guys, by the way? There's a lot of people joining, I see. Not a lot, but you know, more people. I didn't know that Unity is trash. What do you mean you didn't know Unity is trash? Do you like Unity? Unreal has a steep learning curve. I wouldn't say so. Can you stop talking about politics in the comments, please? This is a game development stream, not a political debate. Anyway, I am going to make, because I really like, if you, I'll show you guys, I'll show you. If you go into YouTube, accept all, and if you go into Need for Speed 2005 Nitrous, Infinite Nitrous. Let's look at another ad really quickly. I love ads. Do you love ads? I really love ads. Cheat engine. Okay, I was going to look at the part where he So, if you take a look, playback speed, let's do really slow. So if you take a look at this. When he stops, the camera gets closer, and when he starts using the nitrous, camera gets further. I want to sort of, what do I want to do? I want to replicate this effect into my game. And also, before we get blinded by this light in here, we have in the exhausts some particles. And particles are your best friend in game development. It's 2:45 a.m. in here, probably gonna hit that. So, hey, thank you for joining, bro. It was really nice to get to know you. And it's really nice that you dropped by. Thank you. And have a good sleep. If you try to, not try, but if you decide to go to sleep. Anyway, what I want to do right now is open this card controller. That's the first thing. And the second thing is I want to build some kind of effects. So I have region common, and inside of common, I will have another input called public boolean is shift pressed. And you can see why the patterns or design patterns are really, really powerful. You can see I'm using shift pressed in here and I'm using spacebar pressed, but I'm doing a is in here. And if you work in a large code base, this is going to mess you up. And you should always, always try to use the same design patterns, because later it's going to it's going to bite you in your ass. So I'm going to do the painful thing, and I will go ahead and rename everything, or every place that this is referenced. So I'll do is spacebar pressed, and then I'll look where I have used spacebar pressed. So this is here for first, then here. Just bear with me. I'm doing some boring work that is going to benefit me. Okay, now we're good. Now we're following a design pattern. I have been using Unity for all of my games. Can you show us any of your game that you made? Give me your email, I will give you YouTube Premium. Nah, bro, I don't need YouTube Premium. Thank you, though. Started shooting nitro through is still light. Yeah, it's an old game. It's from 2005. What can you do about it? You can use Cinemachine position dampening to achieve that. I don't want to use Cinemachine. Cinemachine is too complicated for my peanut brain. Use trail render or particles better. Yes, yes. Thank you. That's a very good idea. I love Need for Speed. I love Need for Speed as well. I used to love it actually, but the newer ones, not very caliente. Anyway, we want to detect when the shift is pressed, and I have declared it as a public. And I'll go into, I think I should go into update. No, I should go into fixed update. Yes. Is spacebar pressed is equal to input, player type is equal to player type.player. Okay. And then I want to do is shift pressed, left shift. Okay. This will set the spacebar to. Huh? Oh wow, this is so fucking helpful. Okay, let's just make sure that the shift is working. And if you just joined the stream, we're trying to build some kind of a effect that the player will press when the shift is pressed right here. And there we go, it works. Okay. The shift is working. So now I will define a new region called debug. And this will be an end region, and this will be a pub float FOV displays amount. I'm really bad on naming variables. I don't know why, but I'm really bad. So let's define a range in here, and the range is from 0 to 10. So we can do 10 units of FOV. And then we will do a pub float FOV displays lerp speed of 1. We will also do this as a range of 0 to 10. I like working with ranges because it's really practical. Anyway, now we need a pub camera, like this. We want to reference this camera, and then we want to handle pub void handle. What should we name this? I'm dead serious. I will invite you to the family. I don't want. Sorry. Thank you though. Alright, good night, boys. Have fun with your game. I will try to have fun. Thank you. Okay, so we will handle effects. Handle effects like this. What is this? This is some witchcraft. Is shift pressed? Camera orthographic size. Camera's half size when in orthographic mode. But we don't want to do this though. Do we want to do this? I guess we can give it a shot. We can give it a shot for sure. Handle effects like this. Why do you want to give me YouTube Premium in the first place? Do you not like watching ads? Okay. I need a camera reference. FOV displacement amount is equal to mathlurp. This is stupid, bro. Why do I keep using why do I keep using AI? Camera dot FOV. So field of view is equal to math. Like this. This is the right way. This is the right way. There we go. There we go. You see? The only problem is that it doesn't go where it was last time, which is not good. So what can we do to fix that? I think the way I could fix that is to make a settings JSON file and then just read from it, and then in there I can define the starting FOV. Or I can come in here in debug and say public integer initial FOV 90. That's too high. 80. There we go. And this, where should this go? Else we will do camera dot field of view is equal to this initial. Okay, and then FOV. This should also have a time dot delta time. This should have a time dot delta time. Okay, that is perfect. I'm getting really good at software development, bro. Everything is working in first try. We should clamp this. We don't have to clamp this, by the way. Do we need to clamp this? Cinemachine, it's trash. Why is Cinemachine trash? I have never used Cinemachine. I didn't even know why you would use Cinemachine. Maybe for an automating, or maybe if you have to build a game. If you have to build a game that is, that has cameras set in certain positions, and then when a scene plays, the camera must focus to other players or something like that. I don't know. I don't like using it. Okay, so now that I have this effect working, we're driving along, we're just spinning out, no big deal, and then we want to shift, use nitrous, we have a little, a little FOV boost, so boot, boot, like this, and I think this kind of gives the game over engineering, yeah. The thing about it is that it's too complicated for me. And if it is too complicated for me and I'm a game developer, how do you think designers will take it? Like, they will have to use or follow courses to just use it. You know? And the other day we were building a matrix system and then we were trying to make it do more while having less. And at some point it got so, so difficult to understand it. And I was like, if I'm struggling to understand it, how is the user going to take this? So you should do things that are simple and fun. You should always chase fun. Okay, back to what I was doing. I was trying to build a effect to give to the player, so when he presses the booster, it gives him a slight FOV increase like this. And I think this is a good touch to the game, It makes the player feel like he's boosting. What do you guys think? Make a screen shake when you change the gear. But I don't even have gears anymore. Not anymore, but I don't have gears right now. Okay, so let me try and get in here one more time. Have car stats, car position. I will need to lower everything down by a little bit. So if I press tab like this, I apparently have to lower it even more. Okay. And then in the camera, I will need more of this. And when the player actually plays the game, it feels fun. I keep forgetting to save my settings, but I just built this effect and I'm not using it. It's very subtle, but it's there and people can see it, and I'm stuck. Help me, step developer. Why did I close tab? I don't want to close tab, oh my god. Okay, maximize, there we go. Now I have a slight boosting effect. Okay, so the next thing that I would like to do, I like the camera. I like the camera as well. Look at how nice it is. I don't need Cinemachine. Maybe I need it. I'm just being ignorant. Anyway, it's giving a very slight boosting. and I really like it. We have slight boosting camera, maybe we have some particles, maybe we have some flames coming out of the wheels. You know, it's these small details that give it the fun element to the game. Anyway, I see more and more people are joining in to my stream, and I really like it, and I'm really thankful for it. And it's that time of the stream that I would like to end it because it's really late, and I don't have the necessary imports to make the development process move along. I would like to do that off stream. I don't think that's fun for you to watch. And I'm really thankful for you joining into the stream, leaving comments, and that just makes my day, honestly. The problem with Unity is that it has no frameworks. And if there are, they are too primitive and no one needs them. There should be framework for racing RPGs, etc. I don't agree with you 100%, by the way. Unity gives you C#, and with C# you can build anything yourself. And if you want to be scalable, which you definitely want in your game, you usually want to maintain your games for a long time, like Counter-Strike or Forza or Need for Speed or something. And when you build your framework yourself, then later, for example, a year later or 2 years later, you will want to edit it. And then if you build it yourself, then you can edit it, no problem. But if you use someone else's framework, then that's going to be a nightmare for you. Show us the cam system. The cam system is so complicated, no one will understand. It's just a camera and a camera controller. And this is all the camera controller does. It's so simple. It's so simple. It's not even, you know. Anyway, I would like to end stream. This is just everything is on GitHub. GitHub desktop. Everything will be in car game in desktop. I'll actually do a push right now. Let's actually do a push right now. I'll save this. Not in here. Slide, boost effect added, and more things added as well. Commit. No, what filter? I don't want to filter. Commit. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm pushing everything into my GitHub. You can just go ahead and download this project as it is right now. We're obviously building it every day, not every day, but and any day that I have some free time. I also have a family to look at. So thank you for joining, thank you for leaving comments, and thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome. And I'll see you some other day, or not some other day, but next stream.